Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. Now, I know there are a ton of people out there who learn velocity banking for the first time and are so excited to share the concept. I get it, right? I'm not really excited to share the concept with people in real life, and do you know why? It's because I know most people don't even know how a 30-year mortgage works. And so, if they don't know how a 30-year mortgage works, I'm not going to explain to them velocity banking until I've gone over the basic concepts of why you got to pay off loans quickly, right? Especially a 30-year mortgage. You pay off all your debts first, all your small debts like credit cards, loans, and then once you've paid off all that, then you tackle that 30-year mortgage. Now, I know a lot of people will say, hey, why would I ever pay it off early? I have a great interest rate, right? And the funny thing is if you look and type in Google how many people regret buying a home, it's actually 93%. And the trap is that people look at the monthly payment and the interest rate, and that's it. They don't look at how much they're paying overall. So, if you're ever going to explain velocity banking, the first thing I would actually even do before explaining velocity banking is just explain how 30-year mortgage works. So one of the ways that you could kind of question it is like, hey, has anybody ever explained to you how a 30-year mortgage works? Right? And I'd say maybe about 80% of the time, and I'm being a little conservative about this is going to be like a no, right? It's like a person who learned how to do their taxes in high school. I'm pretty sure there are people who learn how to do that. I certainly did it. But just like that, most people did not learn how a 30-year mortgage works when, they were young in high school. And they probably didn't teach in college, and they didn't probably teach them at any time in their educational schooling because the school system has no intention of teaching you that, right? Because if you actually know how it worked, nobody would take these loans, okay? But the reason why so many people fall into the trap of getting a 30-year mortgage is simply this, simply described here. I don't know if you ever watched Spaceballs, and I'm kind of half joking, but I'm kind of not. Evil will always triumph because good is dumb. That's what my good friend here, Dark Helmet, says, right? So again, don't ever insult people and say, "Oh my goodness, like you don't know how 30-year mortgage works." I never knew how it worked before I took velocity banking, so I can't make fun of other people and tell them that they're dumb because they don't know, right? Like that's not right. But be caring and be able to explain in a manner that's not condescending. So again, so let me ask the question again. Hey, has anyone ever explained to you how a 30-year mortgage works? And they'll say yes or no. And then, if they say yes, like, okay, well, do you mind if we review and let me know if you already know this? And if they say no, then you should just get to it. And then I'll just say something like, hey, if somebody gave you a $300,000 loan to buy a three-bed, two-bed path house in maybe, let's say, Georgia at a 3% interest rate, is that good or bad? Right? And then pretty much 99% of the population will say, like, oh my goodness, 3% interest rate, that's so good, right? Because at a 3% interest rate, and I've kind of already done this here on bankrate.com, the monthly payment is $1,265, right? So $1,265. And if you rent an apartment in like the city of Atlanta, I think it's like 2 grand, 15 to 2 grand a month. I gotta check the rates, but it's somewhere there, right? So $1,200 for a 30-year mortgage on a three-bed, two-bath home at $300,000, and 99% of people will say good, and they'll say awesome, right? And here's the thing: you don't tell them that's good, bad. Here, that's the secret. Let me just put secret right here. Ancient secret, right? So let me go ahead and highlight this. And what we're going to write here is that you don't tell them that it's good or bad. They have to tell you that it's good or bad, right? And so I think what happens with a lot of people, especially when they're trying to do presentations, is they're trying to convince the other parties, like, oh my goodness, 30-year mortgage is so bad. And let me tell you why, right? Let them discover that it's bad, and you're the one just helping them guide that. So what I say, okay, well, let's just do some math. So $1,265. How many months are there in a year? So that'll be 12 months, right? And so 12 months, and how much are we paying in a year? And we got Google Calculator for this. I don't even know why I'm laughing. I don't mean to laugh at this situation. Just so for some reason, when I'm doing this recording, I just want to laugh. All right, so 1265 times 12, and what's the answer? 15,180. So we're paying 15 grand a year. 15,180. And then how many years are there in a 30-year mortgage? And then you just have them do the math. And then let's go ahead and do that. I'm sorry. Times 30. So 455, 400. 455, 400. So $455,000 and $455,400, right? And so what you do to kind of figure out how much interest you paid, it's just the total you paid minus the original loan amount, and that's actually, so if I just show you the math here, 455,400 minus $300,000, and that's 155,400. Okay, and this is the total interest paid. Okay, and so now what you do is you just show them the percentage. So if you want to show them the percentage of the interest that you paid, right? So it's just 155,000. So 155, 400 divided by the original loan amount. So 300,000, and you just put in your calculator. So just do it here, and then 155, 400 divide by 300,000, and then they'll see this 51%. And I'm like, wow, so you want to pay 51%, actually 51.8% interest, and you think that's a good thing, right? And then here's the secret, the secret part, or the secret to get them to trust you so that they could be open up to, concepts like velocity banking or whatever it is. They'll tell you, "Oh my goodness, that's bad." Right? And then you just kind of, show them, "Hey, like you could go into any internet calculator, type it in, and look at all this. You paid 455,000 in the total cost of loan, and you paid 50%, 51% interest." And then you just show them like different interest rates. So for example, I have it typed in my head, 5.4 is 100% interest. So look at that, 100% interest. And then 9.4 is 200% interest, right? So this is $900,000. So let's say you borrowed $300,000. Guess what? You got to pay twice as much to the bank if you have a subprime loan, right? And this is why you shouldn't get a subprime loan. And here's the thing, if you're investing in real estate, you got to get the lowest price possible. So that because if they're going to give you a mortgage on a property, guess what the rates are? It's like 8%, right? So this is why I would definitely learn velocity banking, and I would want to buy a $300,000 home, at least get a $100,000 discount. And what's the easiest way to get discount? Find people in distress, and there are people out there who are willing to trade peace of mind for equity, right? They're going to give you that discount because you're a problem solver and you're going out of your way to find people with problems, right? All right. So that's pretty much it about, the 30-year mortgage, why it's essentially a trap. And here's the other thing too. There's like more layers to this onion, and I'm not going to go over too much into this. Every 5 to 7 years, what do most people do? They buy a home, and guess what? They either move or they refinance. They get a letter from the bank saying, "Hey, you can refinance this mortgage at a lower monthly payment." Now, I'm pretty sure that if you get a significant discount on the interest rate, that's going to be a really good thing. So I'm not saying, oh, all refinancing is bad, but if you don't get like a significant percentage reduction in that 30-year mortgage, if you're refinancing, then you're probably going to lose money, right? May, Heck, maybe they tell you like you get the same amount or the same percentage, but you get to take out the equity as a cash out refinance, right? And if you're not using to build wealth, I'm sorry, if you're not using that to build wealth, then that's where the bank wants you, right? Just to get either the same payment or possibly a lower monthly payment, but have the loan go on forever because all you did, especially if you look at this schedule here, ooh, you see how much interest gets paid at the beginning versus the principal, and they want you, if you pay all this interest in the beginning, and let me just do this, we'll do a 6% loan. So you pay all this interest in the beginning, and then you refinance. Guess what? You just pay all this interest again. Okay. All right. So this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. Hopefully you learned something insightful from this video about presenting velocity banking to others. I would always show how a 30-year mortgage works if people don't know, and just like people preparing their taxes, they don't know how to do it because no one ever taught them while they're young, right? So I'm sure there's a good number of people, like a small number of people know, but most people won't. And hopefully we'll get to a point in society where evil won't triumph because good is not dumb, right? But yeah, that's it for today. All right, so this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. If you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below. Other than that, have a great day. Happy Friday, everybody, and we'll speak next time.